Barca 4-3 Real Madrid. What a win for Barca. What a way to bounce back from that disappointment against Inter in the Champions League in midweek, guys. It was really important that Barca responded today, and Barca have done just that, winning the fourth Clasico of the season 4-3 against rivals Real Madrid. And Barca has now drawn very, very much closer to sealing the club's 28th La Liga title, going 7 points clear of Real Madrid following today's win at the Montjuic. This is Barca's first Clasico win at the Montjuic in what is looking to be Barca's last season at the Montjuic, because likely we shall be making a return to the Camp Nou when it is completed next season. But overall, it has been a brilliant game yet again. Barca have now won 4 consecutive El Clasicos this season after winning 4-0 at the Bernabeu, 5-2 in the Super Cup in January against Madrid in Saudi Arabia, 3-2 just recently in the Copa Del Rey final, and once again Barca had made it 4 Clasico wins in a season, and it's a Clasico record in itself, because this is the first time in the history of the famous fixture that one of the two clubs has won 4 consecutive Clasicos in one season, guys. So what a remarkable job the team has done today. What a remarkable job the team has done all season. Big ups to everybody. What a performance, what a season it has been. I know a lot of us have been very, very heartbroken following what happened against Inter in the Champions League, but that is life. Sometimes it is very unfair, and with the way we went out, I think everybody agrees that we can be proud of the fighting spirit that we showed against Inter. Although ultimately we were knocked out, we even deserve better. And I'm sure a lot of people actually agree with that Barca really didn't deserve to lose or get knocked out against Inter. But what a way to bounce back from the boys today. And it was really, really difficult today, guys. Mind you, because we made the worst possible start to this game against Madrid today. We made the worst possible start. And I think this is a thing of concern for Barca, because it seems like we are always starting games very, very slow these days, because in almost all of our recent games, we have gone behind and we have made the job more difficult for ourselves, because it seems like we are always looking to chase a comeback, even though most times it has worked, but it is a very, very risky way to play. It cannot always work, and we saw that against Inter in the Champions League. But today it worked against Madrid. Of course, Madrid scored 2 early goals. By the time it was 13 minutes on the clock, Madrid were already leading 2-0, guys. Mbappe scored the first from the penalty spot after Barca's high line was exposed once again, and Madrid were in front. A few minutes later, once again, Mbappe was able to get in behind Barca's defense. A lot of protests for offside, but I think he timed his run perfectly on this occasion. He finished past Szczesny for 2-0, and I'm sure a lot of people were like, whoa, not again. Question marks arising whether Barca were going to be able to come back yet again this season. And I guess the team responded in style, because from that moment when the team went 2-0 down, it was a totally different game, guys. The team responded with aplomb. Goals from Eric Garcia. Eric Garcia scored the first from a corner kick off a Ferran flick. It was 2-1. And before you knew it, Lamine Yamal on 32 minutes, what a strike from just inside the penalty area. And Ferran again was the architect, because he laid on the assist. And Lamine Yamal drew the game level at 2-2. And it was all back to square one, and Barca immediately, even before halftime, Barca took the lead. Barca won the ball back in midfield, and Pedri played the first time ball brilliantly to Raphinha, who timed his run perfectly. There was so much space in behind Madrid's defense. Raphinha was almost one-on-one with Courtois, and like we've seen him do on so many occasions against Madrid this season, once again he was able to finish past Courtois, and Barca were leading 3-2. The fourth was to arrive even before halftime, because after good pressing from Barca, and I have to talk about Barca's press, guys. I'm going to talk about it much later, but after Barca won the ball back following a very, very good press, Raphinha gave the ball to Ferran Torres after dispossessing Lucas Vazquez, and Ferran Torres laid the ball beautifully on a plate for Raphinha, and he finished past Courtois to make it 4-2. And the Montjuic was bouncing, guys. The Olympic Stadium was bouncing. You could feel it in the stands. We've complained a lot about the atmosphere at Montjuic this season, but I think this season the fans have brought a very, very good, intimidating atmosphere to that stadium. Even though the fans are not as close to the pitch as they are at the Camp Nou, I think they have done a good job at making this place a decent home ground for Barca, because I think we have had some really, really good results at the Montjuic this season, guys. And at halftime, it was a bouncing atmosphere. It was a party atmosphere. The stands, everybody was happy. Even Travis Scott was in the stands, of course. We saw that he collaborated with Barca for the special edition jersey for this Clasico, as we've seen Barca do with Spotify in a lot of the recent Clasicos. So Of course, we saw him in his stance. He was clearly rooting for Barca. And if he was not a Barca fan before today, with what he saw from the team today, guys, I bet Travis Scott is one more cooler that has joined the family, because he seemed so happy with the performance that he saw from the team out there. At halftime, it was 4-2, even though Madrid could have gotten a penalty on the stroke of halftime when Mbappe was adjudged to have been fouled. But after some replays, it showed that Mbappe was not touched at all by Frenkie de Jong. And even though Bellingham looked to me to be onside, of course, but it was a strange decision, to be honest, because I felt the play actually was more to do with the non-contact from de Jong than the offside from Bellingham. I thought it was a confusing call, to be honest, but we were leading 4-2 at halftime, and the character that the team has displayed this season, we saw it in full flow once again, going 2-0 down inside the first 13 minutes, and at halftime we were already 4-2 up. In the second half, Barca tried their best. We took control of the game, but Madrid, they were threatening on some occasions. In a number of occasions, they were able to beat that high line. Of course, it is no surprise because Madrid have a very quality team. They are quality players. So players like Mbappe always able to get in behind that defense. It wasn't surprising because Barca has done it so well this season, but we are beginning to see cracks in that system, even though the system has served us very well, because this system is why we are on the verge of winning 3 trophies this season, guys, because we have already won 2 against Madrid, of course. This game, this result practically puts the final nail in Real Madrid's coffin when it comes to the La Liga title race, guys, and it is a joy to behold, because we have also ensured that Ancelotti will be leaving Madrid without a trophy. No last hooray for Ancelotti this time around, because he shall be ending his second spell as Real Madrid manager with a trophyless season. So Barca has made sure of that, and I'm really happy because the response that the team has shown today, it has been brilliant, guys. After what happened in midweek against Inter, it was really important to get the win today, and guys, we are one step closer, very much closer to securing the 28th league title in the club's history, of course, with 3 games to go. So right now, being 7 points clear means that Barca are now just 1 more win away from sealing the league title, and there shall be that opportunity in midweek, because on Tuesday, Madrid are going to be playing against Mallorca at the Santiago Bernabeu, and if they win that game, it makes the title race more interesting because it shall be delayed pending what Barca's result is going to be on Thursday against Espanyol away from home. And Espanyol, of course, we knew that if Barca had not won today, these local rivals, they would have loved the opportunity of destroying Barca's title hope. So this win today was very important. And after those games in midweek, of course, if Barca are able to win against Espanyol, that means that La Liga is automatically guaranteed. It is official, Barca will be champions. But if Madrid loses on Tuesday against Mallorca, then Barca will definitely be champions. But those are not just the only games that are left this season, of course. After those games, in the weekend, Barca still has to play against Villarreal at home, of course. And that same weekend, Madrid are going to be traveling to Sevilla. Another difficult game for them. And for Barca as well, Villarreal are a difficult side. So Barca would really love to get the job done before heading into that Villarreal game, of course. And in the final week game of the season, Barca shall be traveling to San Mamés against Athletic Bilbao, and Madrid shall be hosting Real Sociedad at the Bernabeu. So 3 games to go in La Liga, but Barca are very much firmly in the driving seat to be the league champions in Spain this season, guys. But what a performance from the whole team. An incredible job that Hansi Flick has done in Barcelona this season. The mentality of the team is top notch. What a game it was. I felt the referee today was really poor. I think the officials, the pressure that Madrid really applies on referees before games, it has an effect in games, because I saw some very strange decisions that he made out there today, guys, because there were some instances like the red card, the foul on Ferran Torres in the first half when he was in behind Tchouaméni. That should be a red card, bro. Like, the guy was the last man, so I don't understand how he's not giving a red card there. If you have given the free kick, it has to be a red card because the guy was clearly the last man. And there were also other incidents as well. Questionable calls, of course. There were some question marks of offside in the lead up to the penalty that was awarded to Madrid that Mbappe scored. He scored his first hat-trick in El Clasico, of course. What a season individually that Mbappe has had. Of course, he has had 39 goals in all competitions this season for Madrid. That's the record in the debut season for Madrid. But what a season that Barca have had as well, because we have made sure that despite the brilliant season of Mbappe in Madrid, Madrid are going to end this season trophyless, guys. And that is something that Barca has made sure of. But talking about the referee, a lot of questionable decisions, even in the second half. I couldn't understand why he didn't give a penalty after the handball of Tchouaméni on Ferran Torres. The Ferran Torres' shot was goal bound, and Tchouaméni's hand was clearly not in a natural position, guys. The hand made his body bigger, and he prevented the shot because the shot was on target, and he prevented it from going to Courtois' goal. So I think that should be a penalty, and I don't understand how he has gone to the VAR to check it and yet decided against giving a penalty. But these are some of the controversial decisions that Barca have to live with this season, guys, because the referee was just really, really bad today. I feel like the pressure that Madrid is out on referee before games, I think it has an effect, and we saw that in the Copa del Rey final as well. But today, despite all the best efforts of frustrating Barca via the officiating, I think Barca were too good not to win today, guys. After going 2-0 down, Barca had a sloppy start to the game, of course, but after going 2-0 down, it was a totally different story because it was almost all Barca from that moment till the finish of the game. Even though Madrid had a lot of chances in the second half via getting in behind the defense, but Barca defended brilliantly. Some brilliant defensive action from Barca today. Overall, the whole team was very, very good, and it was a very, very good game from everybody in the team. I think Szczesny did well. He made some good saves towards the end of the game from Mbappe. Mbappe could have scored an equalizer. This game could have easily been a draw, but Szczesny played his part in ensuring that Barca won this game today. The defense was very, very good, of course. We knew that Balde was past fit before this game, but Flick said it even before the game started that he and Lewandowski were not going to start the game. So we're not surprised to see that Gerard Martin started at left back, and I thought he did well. Yeah, I think he did very well today. Defensively, he was good. Attacking wise, he was decent, even though I think that his final ball was quite lacking in some moments in the first half. But like I always say, he's no Balde. He only has to do what he can do, and I think the guy is doing well. He's a decent backup to Balde, of course, at this point in the season. In centre half, Kubasi and Martinez, once again, they had a good game, but so many times the offside trap did not work. The offside trap did not work. On a lot of occasions today, the offside trap did not work. So I think that is something that Barca really needs to improve going into next season, of course. But Eric Garcia, what a player he has been for Barca this season, starting at right back once again in place of the injured Jules Koundé, and he was the one that sparked today's comeback, guys. His header, after Barca went 2-0 down, his header off a flick from Ferran Torres was what started Barca's comeback today. And you just have to applaud Eric for the performance he has had this season. He has made himself a very, very key player in this team. Even while not starting so many games, he has made himself a very, very important part of this Hansi Flick team. And I'm really, really, really impressed with what Eric has done. He has shown immense character. He has shown adaptability. He has shown great leadership. He has shown great mentality. And he has scored quite some goals this season. I think about 4 or 5 goals this season, playing from a deeper position. That's brilliant, man. You need such players to arrive in key moments for you in the season, and what a season Eric has had. After he scored against Inter on Tuesday, of course, he could have had 2 against Inter in the Champions League in midweek, and today he sparked the comeback with that header, and what a game he had. The midfield for Barca today was just brilliant, bro. Like Pedri and Frankie de Jong, you can't get the ball off them, bro. Like they were playing in their backyard, bro. I think they had Madrid chasing shadows at some point in the game. Pedri and Frankie de Jong, that combination, it screams control, guys. Madrid couldn't get the ball off them. Bellingham, Valverde, name you, Modric, Arda Güler. He even had to be subbed at halftime. Arda Güler, of course, he couldn't impact the game, guys. Barca's midfield, the double pivot of Pedri and Frankie de Jong, it has worked so well this season, guys. And there are part of the reason why Barca were able to come back in this game, because they controlled the midfield. They covered every blade of grass on that pitch today. Their passing was top-notch. The pressing from the whole team, of course, the pressing in midfield was top-notch. They won the ball back on several occasions, guys. Several occasions, Barca retrieved the ball from Real Madrid in midfield, and Madrid could just not cope today. They were suffocated by that midfield performance that Frankie de Jong and Pedri put in. What a duo that Barca has in that double pivot, guys. And we are really, really lucky to have these guys in our team. For Lamine Yamal, he had a slow start, but once again, this kid is special, bro. Like, there's no surprise. We've said it so many times that Lamine Yamal is special, and he proved it once again. The aura, the calmness, he drew Barca level, made it 2-2, and his performance was sparkling once again. He did he had a great game. Lamine Yamal had a great game. And I really love the celebration that he did after his goal that made it 2-2, because he hit the karma once again, just like Cristiano did at the Camp Nou in 2012. Lamine Yamal hit the karma once again. He did it at the Bernabeu when Barca won there earlier in the season, and he did it yet again. The aura of this young man is just... it's mind-blowing, bro. Lamine Yamal is going to mark an era in football, and I'm so happy that Lamine Yamal is a Barca player, of course. So happy. Dani Olmo, another good game from him. He was able to control. He complemented the midfield of De Jong and Pedri very well. He was good in the tight spaces, and he should have scored 2, but his shooting was not on today, guys. His shooting was not on today, but he had a good game, of course. And then Raphinha, what a game, what a season this guy has had. 34 goals now this season, guys. 2 goals again today. And he should have had about 4 or 3 goals, to be honest, guys, because he missed some really clear-cut chances, point-blank chances that Raphinha would usually bury. He missed them today, but he still ended up with 2 goals. The go-ahead goal that made it 3-2 and the goal that made it 4-2 before halftime that ultimately proved to be the winner. What a season Raphinha has had. What a game that Barca had today. He was rightly named the MVP of the game, and I think he deserved it, of course. But Ferran Torres today, guys, without a goal, but it was a sparkling performance. 3 assists, guys. He laid on the first assist for Eric Garcia with his flick from Dani Olmo's corner, and the second goal, he laid it on a plate for Lamine Yamal. And after Pedri assisted Raphinha for the 3rd goal, he was the one that assisted Raphinha for the 4th goal that made it 4-2 before halftime. What a season Ferran Torres has had. Even in the absence of Lewandowski, he has filled in very well for Barca this season. And today, he didn't score, but he played a crucial part in today's win today, guys, because I know that, I said it in the video against Inter, that it seems like Lewandowski was rushed back from injury, guys, because he was not even considered early enough in that game. Because I thought that if he was fit, Flick would have introduced him much earlier. And that was really confirmed today, because for the whole of the 90 minutes, he was left on the bench. And now Mbappe has overhauled him in the race for the Pichichi, guys. Heading into this game, Lewandowski was on top of the scoring charts with 25 goals. Mbappe just behind with 24. But with the hat-trick today, Mbappe has gone to 27 goals. That's 2 ahead of Lewandowski with 3 games remaining in La Liga this season, guys. So are we going to see Lewandowski catching up to Mbappe before the season comes to a close, or are we going to see Mbappe win at least a consolation prize of the Pichichi in his first season in Spanish football? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. What a season Barca has had. Who was your man of the match today, guys? Let me know what you think of the refereeing performance, and do you think that Barca would seal the title with a victory against Espanyol on Thursday? Or would Mallorca make the job even easier by defeating Real Madrid earlier on Tuesday? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. And if you like this video, please do give this video a thumbs up, turn on your notification bell so that whenever I drop, you shall be notified. And most importantly, please do not forget to smash that subscribe button. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça. Adios.